mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she goes, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running a theme park, and when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. Girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess who with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. Girl, you gotta hear this one.
Hey guys, would be helpful if StreamYard actually would default to having me on screen in the middle. I don't know. It's a day. How is everybody doing today? It's been a morning. It's been a morning around here. I am sore as absolute freaking hell. My back is killing me. My abs are killing me. My legs are killing me. So I decided to run on the treadmill today because I'm dumb. Run on the treadmill. My fat backside isn't a runner, so you know how that goes. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing well on this Tuesday morning. It is noon. We are a little earlier today. I am going to work every other week. I'm going into work early to help with more stuff. The owner is a one-man band, and sometimes, he's getting lots of business. The problem is this is a one-man band, and sometimes he needs some relief. So every other week, I'm going to help him out a little bit earlier on Tuesdays. So therefore, I need to stream a little bit earlier so I can, do dinner and figure out life and stuff. Gail, yes, please, everyone hit that thumb on the way in. And funny story, before the even started, hi to my hater who's lurking. I know y'all are here because you hit the dislike button before the stream even starts. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, people. Y'all crack me up. Because one, it helps the algorithm and you do it anyway. And two, you watch everything I do and quit being a bitch. Steve, hey Squid in chat, how are you? Nick, 88 Fahrenheit here in the UK. It was like 81 on Sunday, and it was like, holy crap, who turned on the air conditioning? Like, Janet, how are you? Lurking meowth. Good morning. And Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Am I vexatious if I constantly threaten the voices in my head to shut up or I will sue me? Voice 43 always have a tantrum when I think that. Oh, which one is voice 43? Is that the blue bucket or the wannabe influencer? And Roy, good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Glad you don't have to drive today. after watching the gym short yesterday, remind me not to make Squid mad. And that was only, the first one was 105 pounds and the second one was 115. It went from normal face, difficult-ish, and that's not even that much weight, difficult-ish, to a few seconds later looking like I needed an exorcist. It was, I didn't want to post the exorcist video by itself because y'all, and go give that video a like, because that video, because I used David Goggins' voice, and he cursed, I don't get ad revenue from that. So, go give it a like and share it to help me keep me accountable. It's so great. And by the way, hi. It's a quiet group so far, but it's also noon. A lot of people have heard this. It's time to do squats. I already did squats. Thank you. Okay, Timothy. Okay. I was like, I know that picture. I just can't put the name with it. We love our lurkers. Yeah, I know, right? Well, the lurkers are always the people who watch everything you do. Like the haters are the ones who, and not all lurkers are haters. Some people just got shit to do, because they have lives. So they have it on in the background while they're taking care of business. But some people will hate watch just to see if I say something that they can screenshot or screen record and play in a Discord for any number of reasons. But we will get to it because this mama got stuff to do and this mama's got to go to work later. And since I've been talking about what the Hale is less, and I've even bought less into the whole drama, and I've expressed my frustration with everything going on outside the court. And that includes like bickering back and forth between the infighting and all of that. People haven't been watching me as much from the What the Hale stuff because I've expressed my frustration with everything outside of the court. And because the court stuff is relatively quiet, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I am interested in this specifically because of the vexatious litigation, because that comes with consequences. And there's a few other people that I feel like should use or should have that label as well. So there's things that we're and that's the thing. Like some people, I always say the haters are the ones who watch everything. That's why they're the biggest fans, because they're the ones who watch every detail and every minute. Normal people, they comment, they go about their business, and they got stuff to do on the computer. They're working, taking care of kids, doing whatever they got to do, and they come back and they comment when they hear something that they want to respond to. Like a normal person, like say Roy, for example. I'm using you as an example because I know you. Roy has to go out and run to the grocery store to get something for his wife. Comes back, oh, you're still live. Comes back in. Catches up on what he missed later. Yeah, mostly lurker here is because I watch on Samsung TV and can't comment without dragging out my phone. I watch a lot on our Samsung TV too. So I get that. It's like they got the phone, the computer, the tablet, and the TV. It's like, which one? Yeah. And when YouTube kind of changed how they do stuff, they say watching on TV doesn't count as a view if you don't comment. Whether I believe that or not, I don't know, because why would they make apps for Samsung, Vizio, all the different types of TVs where you literally can't comment and not count that as a view? I just don't get it. Yeah, we love all snarky comments. When will these cases be heard? This has gone on and on. Why haven't L. John been arrested for the conviction in Ohio? The Ohio stuff, honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I am The last person to ask about the Ohio cases, that was before my time. I don't know how to access or have access to any of those documents. I have not seen them. I've just heard what people have said. To be perfectly honest, I will not ever claim to be an expert in that area or know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Ohio stuff. One of the things that might be about why haven't they been arrested is because Florida, they got stuff going on in Florida, and Florida doesn't want to ship them to Ohio. Either that or the Ohio just doesn't care. Ohio just doesn't care enough to contact Florida and figure shit out. Or they want to wait till everything is done in Florida to see what happens. I don't know. I'm not not an expert on that one. These cases, unfortunately, the two federal cases, federal 2 cannot move forward until everybody responds. And as we know, one person in Wisconsin is still not served. However, this motherfucker, and I sorry for any of you who do not like me cursing. I apologize, but I have to say something. Milltown's Best accused me a long time ago of threatening him. One, I don't do that. I don't have the time for that bull crap. However, now I want revenge. And y'all, I am from Wisconsin. I do not live in Wisconsin, but I have a lot of my friends who live in Wisconsin. So I made a Facebook post about Jeremy's $1,000 after I confirmed it with a few people to make sure that I wasn't like throwing Jeremy under the bus or anything. I made a Facebook post to my personal Facebook with all of my friends back home and my family, asking if anybody was interested in helping to find him. And the responses I got, Milltown's worst, there is a wide net cast over that city with people who like me and do not like you, and would be more than happy to help Jeremy serve you, not for the purpose of helping Jeremy, but just because you accused me of something that I didn't do. So there's that. So I have a bunch of people in Wisconsin that are way more than happy with helping Jeremy locate Milltown's Best and having him served. Yeah, episode 3, Revenge of the Squid. Just the address. I have 4 possible addresses, including business addresses. The person that took the most interest, I love them dearly. And I've if they're watching, you know I love you. You know I love you, and I do not mean this with any sort of ill will at all. But I've always thought you were a little bit too invasive in things. But now, when I asked this person, I said, "Are you sure?" And I sent an address that I thought I had, and all of a sudden I'm getting. They're like, "Let me check." She's over here like leaning on her thing, rocking back and forth, and I'm so scared that she's gonna tip over her little. She's on her little couch, but she's on the end, and I'm so scared that she's gonna like flip over the edge and end up in the middle of the couch. So if you see me like, so if you see me, and she emailed all the stuff to Jeremy last night, but she's sending me like screenshots of things that she's finding, and I'm like, are you a private investigator these days and just didn't tell anybody? To return a text. All right. So I there's a bunch of people who I posted it publicly on my Facebook and just said, if anybody's interested in helping find this person, let me know. And when they DM'd me, I gave them Jeremy's email and the person's name and said, have fun. I wouldn't have gotten involved had he not accused me of anything that I didn't do and then try to talk crap about me. It's like, y'all made, nope. So, you know, I'm kind of bummed that no one in my area needs found. I know all the spots and have deep ties. Yeah, I almost wish I was back home so that I could help. But then again, I'm glad I'm not, because then he can't accuse me of she's doing this or she's doing that. I'm 1,000 miles away, bro. I ain't doing anything. I just said find an address and email it to this person. So, that's all I did. But I put it on my Facebook. So 600 or 700-ish people, 500 of which live back in that state, saw it. Some of which who I didn't know were followers of Jeremy Hale's and sent me screenshots from the Facebook hater page. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, good to know. Yeah, freckled ginger, you scare me. Like, you scare me. Like, I love you, but you scare me. Like, don't get on Freckled's bad side, man. She's nice, but she's nice, yeah. All right, so we are going to get into this. I have before we read the actual document, one thing that I wanted to do different, because I know a lot of people, I know people want to see her qualified as a vexatious litigant, and I also know that people have already read this. It came out 2 days ago. I had stuff to do yesterday. I wanted to talk NTSB yesterday, so I waited till today. However, there is a couple of things that what happens if you are considered a vexatious litigant? Because it's one thing to be called it, but what does it actually mean? So there's a couple of things that need to be proved. But so can I counter sue for frivolous lawsuit? Once you've gotten a frivolous lawsuit dismissed, you might be able to file a counterclaim against the plaintiff on the grounds of fraud, abusive process, or another legal issue associated with the frivolous lawsuit you've been subjected to. So when people on the hater side say that Jeremy is pushing this or he doesn't need to sue, like she dropped the lawsuit, he doesn't need to sue. The amended version of this filing, I downloaded it this morning. So whatever. Oh, you want more strawberries? Yes. Okay, there's more in there. Freeze-dried strawberries are our new our favorite snack lately. So there you go. I love you. So it's right here on legalknowledgebase.com. It's not Jeremy being vexatious litigant. It's Jeremy protecting himself from this BS. And a bunch of other people, because we had read, oh, hey, Malin, what's the difference between state and federal court regarding civil cases like Fed 1 and Fed 2 in this case? Mostly the difference between this and in state and federal court is, one, the amount, and two, its jurisdiction is federal because of the parties being different citizens of different states or residents of different states. Like, I'm a resident of Georgia. If I were to sue somebody in, say, California, it would be hard for me to sue in state court considering they are not in my state. So, yeah. Yeah, she told Tug and Megan that she can refile up to 2 years, so threats. Yeah, and stuff like that. Like, but what actually happens to the person when they are, um, uh, like, what happens to them? Yeah, and then what happens, what are characteristics of a frivolous person? Frivolous is a character trait that describes someone who is lighthearted and carefree in their actions and decisions, tend to prioritize pleasure and entertainment over more serious matters, often at the expense of responsibilities or consequences. Does that seem like somebody we know? Or a few people that we know? Cause like I'm just you know, like I just see that being a really bad time. And then there's where was that? So there was a so just in case we need the actual definition of vexatious, causing vexation, troublesome, annoying. Synonyms: irksome, bothersome, irritating, or provoking. Also, does it sound like someone else we know? So the in one of these there was and I'm trying to find it, and I closed it because Baby Squid was using my computer earlier. So I'm trying to find where I had it and what site it was on. But it was what happens to what happens to a vexatious litigant, or what happens when someone's vexatious. So they, as a lawyer, they can get sanctioned. And I was trying to find it because I wanted to read it word for word in here, and I can't find it now. So maybe it's the other one that I saved. I bookmarked a couple so that I could find them later. Let's see. Here we go. This one. Being labeled a vexatious litigant. This is what the one I was looking for. Sorry, I opened up the wrong one. Malin, you're the best. Okie dokie, Squid Chat fam, I need help. I unplugged my coffee maker. Do I call 911 now or what? I don't provide legal advice, but I would not, yeah. Just the docs create, what? Mm-hmm. Being labeled a vexatious litigant. The primary consequence of being labeled a vexatious litigant is a pre-filing order. This court order prohibits the person from filing any new lawsuits without first getting permission from a judge. So if this goes through and if this is approved, Jeremy will not be only saving him, Megan, Tug, Jay, anybody else who she decides she wants to get mad at. But in these exhibits, we're going to look at all the other lawsuits. I read the ABC legal lawsuit on this site. All the other people that she decides to sue just because she thinks, oh, I'm a lawyer or I was a lawyer, I can sue these people. So Jeremy, by doing this, is not only saving himself future problems, but he is possibly saving any number of people. So it's quite nice. Yeah, maybe the National Guard. Well, Malin's not here. Malin's not in this country. So that's one of the reasons Malin asked questions that a few people in chat might look at and go, why don't you know that? Or, she's not American. She can tell you where she's from if she so chooses, but she's not American. So, with that being said, let's get into the actual document. The actual document is only 6 pages, and then the other 30 pages are exhibits, which is so much fun. Share screen. Come on. And I will make it bigger, I promise. And this is on the Orange County docket. Orange County is probably the easiest county in the entire country to get documents from. It's so simple. Yeah. Oh, I'm a proud Swede. And how much court time and how much court money, like taxpayer money. Because remember, every time judges have to hear a case, they're getting paid. They get paid by the taxpayers. They are government employees at the end of the day. So, all right. We all know the plaintiffs, the defendants. I'm not repeating stuff we already know. Motion to declare Leslie Federigos a vexatious litigant. Jeremy Hales, Elephant Shoe LLC, Martha George Risk, Megan M. Fox, and Matthew Lewis, aka Tug, by and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to Florida Statute 68.093, hereby respectfully move this court to declare Leslie Federigos a vexatious litigant. In support of this motion, plaintiffs state, Leslie Federigos has engaged in a pattern of vexatious litigation that meets statutory definition under Florida's vexatious litigant law. Florida Statute 68.093 provides a framework for courts to address individuals who abuse the legal process. And that's what this is. It's an abuse of the legal process. It's no different than a cop abusing his ability to write tickets, a judge abusing their ability to sentence people. It depends on where you are and who's making the coffee. I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not a hot coffee drinker, so I don't know. A vexatious litigant is defined as a person who, in the preceding 5 years, has commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se 5 or more civil actions in any court in Florida, excluding small claims cases, which have been finally and adversely determined against them. If a court determines that a person is a vexatious litigant, it may issue a pre-filing order prohibiting the individual from commencing any new pro se actions in the judicial circuit without first obtaining leave from the administrative judge. The restriction is intended to prevent frivolous or abusive litigation while still allowing access to the courts for meritorious claims. They can't take away anybody's right to sue completely because, you're American. It is what it is. You have a constitutional right to be able to pursue legal action. However, that doesn't mean you should be allowed to abuse it. The court may also require the vexatious litigant to furnish security to cover the opposing party's anticipated litigation expenses. In Brown v. Miami-Dade County, Florida 3rd District Court of Appeals, 2021, the 3rd District held, while Florida Constitution does indeed provide a right of access to the courts, see Article 1, Statute 21, Florida Constitution, providing, quote, the courts shall be open to every person for redress of any injury, and justice shall be administered without sale, denial, or delay. That third part is up for debate. This right is not without limitation. A litigant's right to access may be properly restricted if the litigant is abusing the legal process. State v. Spencer, Florida, 1999, noting that any citizen, including a citizen attacking his or her conviction, abuses the right to pro se access by filing repetitious and frivolous pleadings, thereby diminishing the ability of the courts to devote their finite resources to the consideration of legitimate claims. Jimenez v. State, Florida 3rd District Court of Appeals, 2016. McGrath v. Karen, Florida's 4th District Court of Appeals, 2009. Florida courts have, when deemed necessary, exercised the inherent judicial authority to sanction an abusive litigant. Sibley v. Florida Judicial Qualifications, Commons, Florida, 2006. Leslie Federigo's has repeatedly filed unmeritorious pleadings, requests for relief, and other documents, conducted unnecessary discovery, and engaged in tactics that are frivolous and solely intended to cause unnecessary delay in actions. Which is funny that Bruce and her sort of get along, because isn't this right here, conducted unnecessary discovery, is what Bubble Brain was trying to accuse Randy of with all his objections to discovery in Federal 1. So it's just like pot, meat, kettle. And Jeffrey, thank you for the $2 super chat late fee for see a minute. Hi, Squid. Hey, how are you? Oh. Plaintiffs accordingly seek this court to declare Leslie Federigo's a vexatious litigant, and herewithin properly set forth the 5 or more civil actions which have been commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se by Leslie Federigo's over the immediately preceding 5-year period. And examples, just in Orange County alone, of these unmeritorious filings and tactics are shown below. Here we go. Leslie Federigo's filed a petition for injunction for protection against stalking against that guy in Orange County Circuit Court on February 25th, 2021. This is the case number if y'all want to go look it up. As a result, a hearing was held and an order of dismissal of temporary injunction of protection against stalking was entered on May 4th, 2021. See docket sheet here too is Exhibit 1. We're going to get all the dirt. She filed a petition for injunction for protection against stalking against Allison Caritas in Orange County Circuit Court on March 3rd. In that case number, as a result, a hearing was held and an order of dismissal of temporary injunction for protection against stalking was entered on July 19th. See Exhibit 2. Stalking, and she accuses people of stalking and slander all the time. Stalking and slander seem to be her go-to things. And I was gonna read some of these back in the day, when she first entered her name in this, and then I stopped giving a crap about her, because she was another one of those people that didn't matter except to create drama. And I she only put herself in the middle of this, in my opinion, to create drama and more drama. So I wasn't going to give anybody any attention and add to their drama. Like, I had somebody post on my freaking thing last night about like I'm just trying to be a friend and you're being used by 2 people, and then they posted a link to their upcoming stream. I'm like, don't post links to your channel in my comment section without my. But I'm like, you're just trying to create drama. Like, I'm sorry, people in my chat. Like, you may or may not like other people in my chat, but that's not my concern. Like, that people just grow up. Like, wait, do her filings count for her family also? If she is pro se, when she was filing for her child, technically that was her and her child. I believe that was the ABC legal case, if I'm remembering my stuff correctly. Ginger, I saw your comment. But her husband was technically representing the child because she is no longer a lawyer, so she cannot represent anybody else but herself. How does one use a squid? I don't know. But I was told I was being manipulated and by someone in my chat that I don't even talk to. Like, they're in my chat. I say hi. I'm nice to them. I don't dislike them, but I don't talk to them outside of a chat. So I'm like in the comment section. So I'm confused. But I looked at this person and they are Jeremy Hader, and I'm like, yeah, your credibility just went straight to shit. Like, sorry, she put her kickball underneath her shirt and is walking around going, baby. Oh my goodness. I love my child so much. But we're in that like everything's her baby stage. Leslie Federico has filed a complaint for libel slander against that person in Orange County on March 1st, 2021. 2021 was a bad year for her, apparently. After over a year of discovery, she filed a notice of voluntary dismissal on October 17th of 2022. I was looking at this case too, and what was interesting about this case is like she got a lot of discovery. And it was over a year of, well, it wasn't over, well, it was over a year of discovery, but like, how? No, my sister-in-law is pregnant, and 2 people in the chat's significant others are pregnant. Not currently in the chat. Neither one of them are currently here, but if you see them, they are, that was her ex-employee. Yep, that makes sense. But like the fact that she got through a year of discovery and then said, oh no, we're good. Like the voluntary dismissal thing after a period of discovery is shady to me. That instantly raises red flags in my head of like, you just wanted information from somebody that they weren't giving you. So you filed a lawsuit, got discovery, you got what you wanted. And then you're like, well, I'm done. I'm not going to waste any more time. I got the information I needed. Thanks. No, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the 10 pounds. But towards the baby squid siblings fund. No, it's her cousin's fund. I'm not. No, I am not. I am not. No, 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 no. Marked safe from getting pregnant in Squid's chat. And truth be told, I don't actually know if the people who are expecting actually watch this. I know their fiancés do. However, I don't know if they do. So, you know, but both of them are moderators. So, you know. Blew the whistle and get sued after all bar issues, the new norm. Yeah, and hopefully not for much longer. Like, she filed a complaint for libel slander against Kathleen Bors et al. In Orange County on December 20th, 2023. As a result of an order to take action or be dismissed that was filed by the court in July 2020 or 22nd, 2024. An order of dismissal was entered on August 22nd, 2024. She did nothing. Exhibit 4. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. Leslie Federico has filed a petition for injunction for protection against DV against her husband in Orange County on July 23rd, 2024. As a result, a hearing was held and an order dismissing injunction was entered on August 1st. Once again, see docket sheet attached here too is Exhibit 5. She filed a petition for injunction for protection against violence against her husband in Orange County on March 3rd, 2025. As a result, A hearing was held and an order dismissing injunction was entered on March 4th, 2025. One day. See docket sheet attached here too is Exhibit 6. Leslie Federico has filed a complaint for libel slander against Jeremy Hales in Orange County Circuit Court on May 19th. She filed a notice of voluntary dismissal on July 17th. See Exhibit 7. Florida Statute 68.093 authorizes this court to declare a party a vexatious litigant when that party has engaged in the conduct described above. Leslie Federico's actions have caused unnecessary expense to plaintiffs and have wasted judicial resources. I think this is always a good sentence to put in there because I'm sure that the court system doesn't give a crap about your money, but they care about their own time and their own money. Leslie Federico has commenced, prosecuted, or maintained pro se 5 actions within the past 5-year period that have been finally and adversely determined against her, and therefore she meets the criteria for a vexatious litigant pursuant to Florida Statute 68.093 2D1, such that her filing privileges must be restricted, and this court should require her to furnish security to cover the plaintiff's anticipated litigation expense. Pursuant to Florida Statute 68.093-4, this court may, on its own motion or the motion of any party, enter a pre-filing order prohibiting a vexatious litigant from commencing pro se any new action in the courts of this circuit without first obtaining leave of the administrative judge of this circuit. I certify that conferral prior to filing is not required under Rule 1.202. This is because the Florida statute, which governs vexatious litigant proceedings, does not impose a conferral requirement before filing this motion. The statute outlines the procedural framework for declaring a party a vexatious litigant, including the court's authority to require security or impose sanctions, but does not mention any obligation to confer with the opposing party prior to filing this motion. Yeah, why would you tell a pro se party, or a party nonetheless, that you are going to mark them or try to get them marked as a vexatious litigant? That's like playing a football game and giving the other side your playbook. No, it's not. No. Hey, how are you? Ugh. You realize if this happens, she won't be able to sue anyone anymore. And there it is, number 16. Yep. Well, she can, but it has to be meritorious and it has to be approved by a judge. The thing about that is then when you know you are being sued by her, you know it's meritorious. You want more strawberries? Yeah. Okay. You can have all the freeze-dried strawberries you want, Angel. There you go. What do you say? What do you say? You say? Well, okay. Yeah. 100 in chat and 70 likes. Can we get that like button up to maybe like 90? Or with another lawyer filing it. The problem is her husband's a lawyer. There's the caveat. So unless they can manage to get him eventually as a frivolous, vexatious litigant, then, but she can always say, hey, hon, can you file this lawsuit for me? There's the loophole. You didn't, yeah. I was halfway through that thought and you read number 16. Yeah, if he filed them, they could sanction him for filing the suit, but he could still file them. Which is which is kind of what's happening now as far as what she's doing. She's filing them. They're not going anywhere, but she's filing them. So, wherefore Jeremy Hales and all the plaintiffs respectfully request that this court declare Leslie Federico's a vexatious litigant pursuant to Florida Statute 68.093, enter a pre-filing order prohibiting Leslie Federico's from commencing pro se any new action in the courts of this circuit without first obtaining leave of the administrative judge, require Leslie Federico's to furnish security in the amount of $37,000 to provide security for the payment of the cost of this litigation and reasonable attorney's fees, and grant such other and further relief as this court deems just and proper. $37,000 is a lot of YouTube live streams. Hey, Steven, are you and Jim still an item? Yeah. Just me and my treadmill this morning. Until I got a video call from somebody and then decided to talk to them instead. But I did a 1.5 miles walking/jogging. And hey, Spawn, how are you? The best part about all this is there's so much evidence online, it will bear it here. Yeah, and here's the thing. I was listening to a video yesterday from someone who I had never watched a video of theirs before. I can't even remember the name of the creator. However, they were talking about legal documents. And they made a comment, and this is someone who does not make legal commentary, like legal filings, does not read legal filings. I think they do sports stuff. But they had made a comment. They were like, did you know all the legal documents? Oh, it was a comedian, because they were talking about being from Florida and the rise of Florida Man. And they made a comment about, did you know all the legal documents in this country are public if you know how to find them or who to ask? And he goes, but Florida, it just so seems to be the easiest. And it was like, dude, you have no idea of all the places where I've ever tried to look for documents. And it's probably like 25 states, I would say. Florida, by far the easiest. So the fact that she lives in Orange County, which by far has to be the most user-friendly website to find documents in the entire country, is not good for her and public being able to access her documents. You don't need a login. You just go to Orange County Clerk. Tiffany Moore Russell has a great website. You just click search, type in a name, hit I'm not a robot, search, and everything with that person's name comes up. You just click on what you're looking for and you get access to the whole document. The only thing that are sealed is family court, but it will tell you, it has a little symbol at the top, like, yes, the documents are online, but they are confidential. So yeah, gotta love sunshine laws. So it's updated statute that DeSantis signed in June changed that definition to 3 cases in 7 years to be declared vexatious litigant. I mean, yep. I mean, sunshine state with sunshine laws. But that's actually a really good thing because it costs money. And it's one of those things of like, you don't think about it because you don't think about the fact that people actually have to pay for all this. But like the legal assistants, the court reporters, even the jury, they don't get paid much. They don't get paid much, but they get paid. So like all this, all these filings cost money. How much money do people waste every year, and how much taxpayer money is wasted with frivolous lawsuits? Because judges have to go through, and you're wasting their resources where they could be, I don't know, looking at family court cases or looking at cases like that actually matter. And you're wasting their time and effort. And I think that's what I can understand. That's why in the federal cases, why Judge Blytho was getting so angry at all the filings. A lot of them, I know Randy has to respond and all that, but I am following that case in Circuit Court of DC with the DOT and the air traffic controllers. That case is 10 years old, has less documents. I think it has this less documents or maybe like one or two more than Federal 1. Federal 1 is 18 months old. This case is 10 years old and has the same amount of documents, roughly. I would say give or take 10 documents difference, plus or minus 10. But 10 years old, 200 documents, a year and a half old, 200 documents. Does that sound like some frivolous bullshit in there somewhere? Like, it just... All right, let's get into these exhibits. Leslie versus Steve, all the docket events. And when you look at the docket online, it'll have a little symbol like right here next to the pages, and it'll tell you whether it's public or not. But all of these had to be paid for. All of these had to be looked at. Like, I'm a vexatious laugher. The dumber they act, the more I laugh. Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, this shit can't be real, right? Like, I got a new mouse, so I have to figure out what all these buttons do. Leslie versus Vera. Ugh. And this is pro se. Like, then the dumbest thing you can do is be your own lawyer. But like, oh yeah, and to be served, the people, doing the service have to be paid. Like, I can't attest to other states, but Florida has had decades of ridiculous cases filed, which have driven up insurance costs to consumers. These cases were generally just settled for nuisance value. And that's the other thing. You bring up a really good point of it. People wonder why costs are so high. Insurance costs, medical costs, things like this. Things like this. Learn from the expert and just push all the buttons. No, that's how you break stuff. I learned a lot from the expert, but I know not to push buttons. But I have to change some of the settings because this wheel, it goes too slow. I'm having to turn it like 5 or 6 times to get it to move. But look at all these documents. Hearing canceled. But order extending temporary injunction, 39 pages. Like, it's just... Oh, speaking of notice of withdrawal, at the end of this, I do have a quick Sarah Boone update. These attorneys made bank just collecting nuisance value claims. Yeah, and I think that there should be more consequences for lawyers who take cases that they know are frivolous. There should be more and easier consequences. But like, Exhibit 3. No, this is not Pacer. This is Orange County, Florida. Orange County is Orlando. Yeah, lawyers are why a lot of costs are high. They promise dreams of a big payday if you just hire them and file. Yeah, and some lawsuits, I'm not going to lie, some lawsuits are worth, their time and effort in filing. But some are not. And some sound like they're not, but really are once you dig in deeper. Requests for hearings, notice for hearing dates. And all these documents are still online. Like, let's see. So here is the stop screen. This is my so this is the docket for this is the docket for the Megan Fox and Jeremy Hales and everybody. So this is what it'll say. If it's family court, these little symbols will be orange for non-public documents. So yeah, it looks different than the pacer doc. That's because these are state documents and not you know. There's been no new documents the last time that I checked. Federal 1 is still on hold due to the bankruptcy, and Federal 2 is waiting for the last person to be served. Hey, Diane, how are you? Good to see you. So it's just a so there was the initial complaint, and then they it's my wife defends catastrophic injury cases and now for insurance companies, but did all claims for 10 plus years, spent a decade listening to her complain about scumbag lawyers. Oh, the veteran who sued CNN. Oh, that one. I have to update. That's one of the cases that's been put to the back burner with everything going on right now. I have to look. He is in, I want to say, I have to look at my county clerk's website too. I want to say he's in Hillsborough County, but I don't know for sure. I think he's in Hillsborough. He's in either Hillsborough or Volusia. I'm not sure. I have to look it up though. I have to go back to the other documents and find out. But I will. I know you and I talked about this morning. We cast a net. We cast a net. I put out a Facebook post to all my friends and family, and I asked a couple people. So a couple people did some digging, found some other addresses that I had no idea. I Google mapped them, sent screenshots of the Google map back to them because I was helping. Sent some other screenshots of houses and stuff that I had, and reflections. If you look at his, and someone pointed this out to me because I don't watch his channel. Yeah, Malin, that's going to be a whole show in itself. I will write it down, and that will be one of the cases that I really do need to get back to. Yeah, Zachary Young is suing. He sued CNN and won in a trial in January for defamation. It's the defamation trial that actually mattered. And when U.S. News and World Report were writing about it, they defamed him, in my opinion, and his opinion too, defamed him while writing about his defamation case that he just won. So he's suing them too. I have to do an update on that because there's some stuff going on. It's where real life took over, and then the NTSB hearings were like 2 hours into day 2, so we still have 18 hours of hearings left. It's freaking nuts. And hey, King Bob, would you like me to put that out for you? She grabbed her balance beam out of the closet. Would you like help? Or are you going to be a big girl and do it yourself? Okay, just don't knock anything over. Oh, she thinks she's a grown up. My baby's not a baby anymore. But yes, Malin, I will do an update. Thanks for reminding me. That's one of the cases that needs to be streamed by itself. But here is the here is this. But to go to search, all you do is go search. Come on. If my computer will work. So this is Tiffany Moore Russell's website. It's myeclerk.orangeclerk.com. And you just go court record search. You okay? Did you bump your head? No. Okay. And then I'm going to stop sharing just while I type in a name, because otherwise everybody who I've searched will come up. And I don't want to do that. Oh, yeah, balloons. Hey, Cumulus Vapes, how are you? Hi. So this is what you get when you search Leslie Federigo's. Yes, balloons for King Bob. So in the document that we were looking at, and somebody did come out to look at my internet. They were digging that way, and apparently they screwed something up again down there when they were fixing some piping and some underground shit. They effed something up. So the people that were coming to my house, I want to say Hillsborough, but that was also Dr. Joe, and I have to reach out to Dr. Joe because he had his they had their mediation, and I was wondering if it worked or not. So, hey, Buck Naked, how are you? Well, I was gonna say. All right. So this was Exhibit 3. Was her libel and slander case against a bunch of people. So we're gonna go to a case that we know about. I don't want to throw anybody who I don't know. Apparently that's a YouTube thing now. They're just gonna be showing these names. I don't know why. Hey, D Green, how are you? So if you are unhappy with your screen name, go to your settings and change it. But I'm not going to be showing any of the people that she has filed a case against that are private citizens. I'm not going to we're not going to do that because I'm just not that kind of person. But we'll go to the Jeremy Hales. Wait, I need to take a quick. We're just looking up stuff. We're just looking up things. So this is this is the voluntary. This is the last case that she filed against Jeremy. So we've all kind of been familiar with this one. Because remember, she tried to file a motion to seal. This was the when I started getting like, I can't cover her because she's kind of off her rocker. Bay County, thank you. I have it in the documents and in the folder. I just can't remember offhand. I have so many clerk websites for Florida right now. I have, because I save them all, and I just can't I just save them all, and I just can't remember which ones are which sometimes, unless I go back and I look. Orange County is just super easy because it's like seriously super easy. But here is her dismissal. And it's like, yeah, like, dude, you know. So I didn't. That'll be a couple. That'll be down the road. I just found that audio and was like, I have to do this sometime. We're just looking up documents from these cases just to see what some of these are. Because I've looked at some of these, but it's been a while. This just interests me because I like to see justice be served. So it's just one of those. I like when people get the karma that they deserve. Stop abusing the system. Stop treating other people like crap. And maybe you won't get a dose of karma. And being sued for being a vexatious litigant and them trying to label you as a vexatious litigant, maybe you shouldn't have been so obvious about suing people just because you can. So more information than I needed, Malin. So here is the and all of these are just not individual documents, but just you want to come up here? Okay. Oh. Yes, here, interest surfing. We are just looking at, is it almost time for a nap? So this was the libel and slander case, I guess, against her old employers. There was a lot of defendants on this one. No. No. You're so funny. You're so funny. You want to look at your pad? Oh, you need a nap. So after we get through this, I'm gonna all of this is oh my goodness. Want more strawberries? All of this is docket events. So they aren't all oh, thank you. Thank you, baby. Baby squid naps are not real. Stop. Girl, stop kicking my desk. These are all the dockets. They're not her just because you have long legs doesn't mean you have to kick my desk. Yeah, this is a motion from Randy, but all these attached exhibits are just the dockets. And what I might do you are silly. She's kicking my mic. You think it's hilarious. I do not. What I might do is actually go through the dockets because all this stuff is still online. How do you think Randy got it? They went online and they looked it up. So if there's any interesting, oh yeah, baby squid likes kicking things. Just ask her dad. Yeah. Oh. I just got. Anybody ever been hit in the face by a dried freeze-dried strawberry? Like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you're getting heavy, Angel. Girl. Oh my goodness. Oh, you want to say hi? All right, so I might go through all these documents or all these cases and find some interesting documents. Before, I was kind of like, it's not important, but now it is kind of interesting from another level because the judge will probably go through all of these documents and all of these cases to see exactly what she filed them for, who she filed them against, why they were filed, especially the orders of protection. She took my keys for my filing cabinet, and then I want to make sure they, unlike my ring, don't go missing. So we will see, because there's 7 of these. So this is a long one. There's motions to amend, motions to complain, and remember, every single one of these costs money. Notice of production. So she got all this. She got all of these exhibits and all of this discovery. So she got all the information that she wanted. And then all of a sudden, the newest information is at the top. So she got all the stuff she wanted, and then voluntary dismissal after all the exhibits were sent to the judge. Like, make it make sense. That to me screams, I wanted information. She wouldn't give it to me. I filed a lawsuit. I got the information. And once I finally got the information I wanted, I don't need I don't need those lawsuits anymore. She gave me the information I needed. Like, this is just shady on all parts. Angel. Yes, you can have more. I forgot about the crotch bones Mr. Squid took last weekend. Baby Squid has no, that's a kick. That's a kick. She kicked him. She did not punch him. She kicked him in her sleep. A nice to the manhood. Oh, he did not sleep. And that was not a weekend. That was a day he had to go to work. That was last Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. You had your shoulder replacement. Yeah, that's right. I hope you're doing okay. Oh. So this one was, let's see, this next one, Exhibit 4. This was a libel, slander. Defamation seems to be her thing. Or she did not want to complete her side of discovery. That could be true too. That could be true. But that's why one of the things I want to do is go and look at those documents, and see if I can investigate as to why. If she produced things, because right now all I'm seeing is like, all I was seeing was notice of discovery and stuff like that, but and exhibits, but until you click on it and you see who filed it, you don't actually know what exhibits those are or where they came from. So I want to see with that case what those exhibits were and who they came from, because if she participated in discovery, then she was just looking for information, or they found something that or she found information that she was going to have to turn over that she didn't want, so she started to turn over so it's and this is another one. It's like, look at this. $402 just to file the damn lawsuit. Like, Exhibit 5. Angel. No. Hey, stop. Here, you take this.
No.
It's your pad. You don't want your pad? Like, here you go.
No.
Hey, Jen.
It's okay.
We're in the that was not necessary. We're in the screaming phase just to scream. I figure Squid has maybe 1 year before baby Squid starts repeating every word mom says. Oh yes, just wait. Yeah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Oh my goodness. All right. Leslie versus Michael. I'm just like this one obviously we can't get into because these will all be sealed. But like voluntary dismissal, I just it still boggles my mind that anything on Bone Breaker, can't stand that old flip flopper. Help hypocrites piss me off. Not that I'm aware of. I will look at Pacer just before we end, just in case. And Buck Naked, we need to bring back stocks and pillories for vexatious litigants and less charges for Pacer. Yes, less charges for Pacer. Pacer is 10 cents a page, and it even costs to like look at the docket, which is why I selectively like, you know. And hey, Dougie, I'm 55 and I'm still in my screaming phase. Oh, like Exhibit 6, another one. There's Jay. I think she's a nice lady. You know what? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. We'll just keep it at that. But it's like, how has no one filed anything earlier like this? And then this is the hey, look at that. We have one of her John and Jane Doe that turned into Just Jay, aka Pearhead. I don't know where that came from. I don't pay attention to this stuff. I have a nerve blocker, ice pad, and some decent pain meds. Ask me again in a week. The answer may be different. Have you started therapy yet? At least Codman's exercises and passive range of motion. 10 cents a page is highway robbery. That is why we selectively choose what we look for. We don't overdo it. We don't run the entire docket every time. She rarely sues me, just 4 times a year. All hail the pair. Oh. I mean, because it costs money and she probably didn't go after anyone more than once, but she foolishly went after somebody who has the money to do so. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're going to, I do not condone any of this behavior. However, if you're going to be not smart, be not smart with someone who does not have the means to sue you back. And I'm pretty sure if Jeremy, like I said, I don't talk to any of these people. I don't just Jay is probably the person closest to this that I actually speak to. That being said, I'm pretty sure if Jeremy set up a GoFundMe and said, I need help with my legal expenses, I guarantee you there would be money in there to cover quite a few motions within a day. Yeah, and I'm not your doctor, your PT, your OT, or anything like that. But if they haven't been using Codmans, Codmans are some of the best passive range of motion exercises you can do for your shoulder. It just lets gravity do the work. So ask them about that if you are having too much pain to do this. Because even when we do this, not your doctor, not giving advice, just giving from personal experience. Even when we do this, we still are using muscles that we're generally not supposed to be using right now. So bending over like a chair and letting gravity and just kind of like here, letting gravity kind of do the work. It's like hanging your arm over a chair and letting gravity kind of swing back and forth. Not only do you get a little bit of a stretch, you know, you lean forward and you just do little circles and straight lines and, you know, back and forth, left and right. That's generally one of the first exercises that doctors prescribed for patients at least at the hospital I worked at. So, yeah. Oh, don't forget the kinesio tape. I love my kinesio tape, man. I still have my book. And I know we're getting off topic, but we're kind of done with the documents. But my KT1, fundamental concepts and advanced concepts. Like I have like books. And that was my my personal, like, I went to this course. So me and kinesio tape get along really well. So I missed my job, but I don't ever want to work in the industrial healthcare ever again. So, you know. And Queen Bee, thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Pacer help or bananas or maybe a sport cup for hubby. Appreciate the no drama and mostly just the docs. Yeah, I do enjoy talking to my chat. So I do try when I just do documents to not have a guest, because I know that when I have a guest, me and my guest will discuss a whole bunch of stuff. But I still do talk to my chat because y'all are fun and I like you. So and plus I get ideas about what you guys want to see from the chat. And like I was originally thinking about going through this, but when you guys were talking about it, I thought about going back to Orange County's website and actually looking up these docs and seeing why she decided to dismiss some of these and see if we can come up with a hypothesis on why she is like this. Not diagnosing, not anything, but with that one case where she got all the way through discovery, why would you let a case get that far unless you were looking for something? So, just Jay. Hi, all. Can't see names on my phone, but hello, everyone. She likes us. She likes us most of the time. King Bob, you know I always got your back. We need Dr. Muffins. Yeah. And hey, it's Jay. And in this world, we sometimes just need a good laugh. And we all just need a chance to like make fun of ourselves. Because if you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of? All right. But that is all I have as far as that. It's just the dockets from the various cases. But we are going to look at Pacer, and I just have to log in without showing you guys my Pacer login. Sorry, I love you, but not enough to dox myself. I do that enough on my own, and other people sort of do it for me. Even though my Facebook name's not actually my name. So if you see me on Facebook, that's not really my name. So it's not my legal name. Just a thought. With you don't take 2+ hours to read a 2-page item. One of the frustrating things with other streams. And I can see that, and I understand that some people literally just want the documents, and I get that. But for me to do a live stream and just read the documents, to me, is super boring. If I wanted to just, I have streams, like when I first started, I read a couple of lawsuits like that. The other lawsuit I'm following out of the Northern District of Florida, it's an NIL lawsuit. A quarterback that was at Georgia, he transferred out of Georgia, but he sued the University of Florida, specifically Billy Napier. Sunbelt Billy got sued. But I started doing where I read that lawsuit in 30-minute, like part 1 and part 2, where I just read the lawsuit and gave my opinion. I didn't interact with anybody. I didn't talk to anybody, didn't interact with the chat because I just recorded it. To me, that was super boring content. And like, I that was super boring content to me. So like reading through it, discussing it, and talking to you guys about it is a little bit more interesting and makes the documents a little more tolerable. Whereas just reading a lawsuit that is 30, 40, 50, 100 pages long is boring AF if you're by yourself and you're just reading the document. So I try to stay on topic. I do understand that I get sidetracked some days more than others. But so there's nothing new in the first case. And in the second case, what document were we up to in the second case? 100. So let's go 98 to 200. Whee! That's not 200. Oh, there was a... Ooh, look at that. Thank you for whoever asked, because we have new documents as of the 7th, which I did not look at. Like I said, been doing other stuff. So here is this. Oh, why isn't, okay, it's being really weird. It usually says change screen or like share this tab instead, but it didn't. So here is, it's not breaking news. It's 5 days old, but it's breaking to me because I haven't looked at the docket in a few days because I've been doing a whole bunch of other stuff. We've done members streams, we've done Reddit, we've done 3 days worth of NTSB stuff, and the Reddit and the petty revenge and the malicious compliance streams have been a necessity to stay sane during the serious NTSB. People died. We need a cognitive break and something to laugh at. And what better way to laugh at than somebody else's drama that they decide to put on Reddit? So, you know. 8-6 was motion to squash service in the alternative. Motion to quash. I just have to read this because motion to quash. Like, and I'm sorry, I will do this as a separate stream. I know people probably already saw these documents, but I am going to do this. I will do this tomorrow where we read these documents completely. Because I do not have the time right now. I have to go to work in like an hour and a half, and I need to cook dinner, make sure my babysitter, aka Mama Squid, is still coming over. Yeah, and right now I'm going to what I am going to do is I am going to download these. This one is Defendant Robert Kezi's motion to quash service in the alternative, motion to extend time. That's quite the sentence there. So Ed 2, document 101. 2586. I put the date and then I put the document number so that I can easily find these. Just in case anybody asks the date or what number we are up to, I have both. Kezi, motion to quash. Quash. That's a technical term, right? Yeah, Gail, Reddit. Wow, some of those people are really angry, but some of those people also have drama that makes you your life look. You think you got drama in your life? Go on Reddit and read some of these people's stuff. Yes, Sarah Boone. I do have the time to go into Sarah Boone really super quickly. But just going back to these documents first. There's the order. Plaintiffs must respond to defendant Kezi's motion within 7 days of this order. And then 103 is the response in opposition of 101, motion to quash, motion to extend time. So attachments, number 1, affidavit of process server, affidavit of process server, number 2, affidavit of process server, and then entered 8-7. So we will read those documents completely tomorrow. Yeah. 2 new crashes in the last couple of days. Yeah, we're a couple documents or a couple hours into the second day of the hearing on the DC crash. And I am getting I look at that and I'm just like, you just look at it and you go, what the actual Hi. Hi. Do you want to read a Sarah Boone document with me? Oh, come on. 25/7/28. Motion to withdraw. Here we go. Here is the quick hey Matthew. Long Island audit is being charged in Connecticut with the one who's being attacked from now Connecticut state trooper instead of the arrest the one who attacked him. Wait, what? Now retired Connecticut state trooper instead of arresting the one who would. I mean, people. Come on. StreamYard. Share. That took way longer than it should have. Yeah, it's one thing if I hit share. It's another thing if StreamYard actually shares. All right. So this is from Sarah Boone. This is also Orange County, Florida. If you live under a rock and you have not heard of Sarah Boone, yeah, I know, right? It's my witchy bitchy power. If you don't know Sarah Boone is a convicted unaliver of her boyfriend who she shoved in a suitcase, zipped it up, apparently shoved it down the stairs, beat it with a bat, and video recorded it on her phone while mocking him as he's begging and saying, Sarah, I can't breathe. She has filed an appeal. And here is her, she also filed a motion that she had not heard from her appellate attorney. And then all of a sudden this was filed, 7/28/25. Motion to withdraw and request for appointment of new appellate counsel. Comes now the undersigned court-appointed conflict counsel for the appellant and pursuant to Florida Rule of Appellate Procedure 9.14 and Rule 2505 of the Florida Rules of General Practice and Judicial Administration respectfully moves to withdraw its counsel and request that new counsel be appointed in support of counsel states. Appointment and procedure posture. The appellant, Sarah Boone, was convicted in the Circuit Criminal Court and subsequently filed a notice of appeal. The undersigned was appointed by lower tribunal as conflict counsel after conviction to handle the appellant's appeal pursuant to Chapter 27, Florida statutes. A notice of appeal has been filed, and the undersigned has complied with the appellate rules by filing the necessary statement of judicial acts, directions to the clerk, and transcript designations. I do have all the transcripts of the Sarah Boone's entire case. So, hey, Jan, even I live in the Netherlands and know who Sarah Boone is. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. You don't understand. Sarah was an all-A student. Oh my God, if you didn't see the video, if you are a 90s or an 80s baby, 90s kid who watched all those Nickelodeon shows, Sarah Boone was on one of the Nickelodeon shows, the one about oh shoot. I watched it all the time. It was the one about the gaming. So hey, 3 awesome dogs. Did she sue herself for recording an event without her permission, thus making the video inadmissible in court? Multiple personalities would have made good defense. Oh my goodness. I will look into that because that sounds like it's effed up. Good cause for withdrawal. Rule 9.14D provides that trial counsel may not be relieved of duties except with approval of the lower tribunal on good cause shown. The undersigned is no longer practicing appellate work or accepting court-appointed appellate cases, which would make continued representation a hardship. Continuing to represent the appellate on appeal would materially impair counsel's ability to provide effective assistance and would delay or jeopardize the appellant's appellate rights. Why was he appointed if he's no longer taking a... Oh my goodness. Need for appointment of successor counsel because this is a publicly funded appeal. That's the other thing. She's indigent. It's a publicly funded appeal. Which is like, Sarah, you're wasting court resources. You're wasting taxpayer money. Yeah. Sarah Boone, older sister of LMNOP and Laura Owens. They're probably triplets. Oh. The appellant is entitled to the continued assistance of counsel. Rule 9.14D directs that in a public funded appeals, the lower tribunal should appoint a public defender or Office of Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Counsel or private registry counsel to represent the defendant on appeal rules. The undersigned therefore requests that the court enter an order relieving current counsel of record and appointing an appropriate successor counsel. And there's Sarah Boone's mailing address if you would like to email her in prison and be her prison pen pal. Oh no! Oh no! No! What happened? What happened? What happened, sir? What happened? Excuse you? Like, are we okay? So Sarah Boone's attorney is filed a motion to withdraw, which explains why she hadn't heard from him, because he's not practicing appeals anymore. He's not an appeals lawyer anymore, which would explain why we have never heard from him and her appeal is stalled, because I would check the appeals docket every, Bye, Musi. You might have a broken leg. Oh no. What did you do? You might, what you might. Oh, I'm pretty sure there are Sarah Boone simps and super fans out there. I don't know. SMN, quit hurting yourself. I second that. I second that. Yeah. So there's that. You did it? What'd you do? You didn't break anything, did you? Oh my goodness. Yeah, she's gonna waste money on appeal. It's the government's money. It's the taxpayers are funding it. So it's government funded appeal. So it's Sarah's my idol. Just Jay, you think you can fix her? I think we've had this conversation before. It's been a while, but oh, ladder at work gave out. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, I hope they gave you some pain meds. I don't have enough paper to keep up with her. Yeah, that's true. Sarah being pro se, though, Sarah did write some decent motions. She cited case law. She used that prison library pretty damn well. I wonder if Just Jay thinks he can fix Laura Owens or Sarah Boone. You know, I don't know. I'm sure maybe one. I just can't. Y'all, please stop hurting yourself. You have to tuck and roll. Just kidding. Yeah, tuck and roll. All right. On that note, we are going to call it a day. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Yeah, inappropriately cited case law, but she tried. And compared to people who have access to a lot more and are doing a lot less, she didn't do that bad. I don't like her by any means, but she cited suitcase law. But Sarah versus Samsonite 2025. Nap time. Yep, it's nap time. I just can't. Squid, Michigan governor gave her a top donor a $20 million grant. The donor bought a 40. Yeah, I just. So many things to say. That was a double, triple play on words. All right, guys. This girl's going to break herself. Why are children afraid of nothing and of everything? And mom's afraid of everything. I'm just looking at her like something's going to happen here. Like something is going to happen here. I am going to see who is live and who we can go say hi to. Let's see. Lawyer, Broken Baker, Miles King hearing. Oh, Flux. Project Zomboid. Oh, girl, she about to bust her face. All right, go tell Flux I said hi. Oh, just got here, so I'll be on replay crew. Well, thanks for stopping by. It was an interesting day. Wait till the Fearless Fours. Oh, great. Thanks, Jeffrey. You're just making me feel so much better today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, see you on the flip side tomorrow. About 11:30, we'll be going through those What the Hale's documents, and then 3:00 will be Spawn and I listening to more of the NTSB hearing and trying not to rip out what little hair he has left. All right, y'all have a great day. Go tell Flux I said hi. Bye, guys.